seats, folks. Please welcome. And the Wilds.
1, 2, 3, 4. Here we are tonight, and here I go again. We already know how this evening's gonna end, but I can't help it, you're the one I dream about, and it tears me up every time you turn me down. Well, there's nothing more revealing than the naked, honest truth. I know you like to play me for a clown. You know it's wrong to lead me on, so why do you string me along when it tears me up every time you turn me down? Well, I buy you a drink and I ask you to dance, but when I start to think that I might still have a chance, you always leave me feeling like I feel right now, and it tears me up every time you turn me down. Well, there's nothing more revealing than the naked, honest truth. I know you like to play me for a clown. You know it's wrong to lead me on, so why do you string me along when it tears me up every time you turn me down? All right, Damien. Nothing more revealing than the naked, honest truth. I know you like to play me for a clown. You know it's wrong to lead me on, so why do you string me along when it tears me up every time you turn me down? Well, it tears me up every time you turn me down. All right. Do the road. Well, thank you very much. It's really nice to be here. I've had a lot of people, like Mike said, recommend this place to me. People like Shane Nicholson and Catherine Britt and Kevin Bennett, The Flood, and Brad Butcher. But
there's a couple other names on the floor here that you forgot to.
I don't really pay attention to what any of those people say anyway, to be honest. I mean, I know those guys and they're cool and all, but I've seen some of the places they play. The Rudy Hill RSL. Of course they're gonna like it here. Of course they're gonna like it anywhere, you know? But I'm very, 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 very picky. Both the people on the stage can attest to this. I'm quirky picky. Just try and get me a coffee somewhere and you'll find out about that. Don't serve it up in a glass, for instance. Don't serve it up in a ceramic cup that looks like it belonged to a wizard, because I don't like it in that kind of cup either. You just got to serve it in a nice little brown cup on the outside, white on the inside, just like they do in Italy. That's how I want it. Anyway, I've gotten off track.
Do something different.
I was talking about this venue and how it's been recommended to me by a lot of people whose opinions I kind of am not sure about. But now I'm here, and I'm very sure about my own opinion. I think it's fucking fantastic. So thanks very much. Thanks very much, Mike and Di and everybody that's involved here, and John on the sound, because this is beautiful. And how lucky are you people to get to come here? I assume you haven't come that far. I hope you haven't come too far, because, you know, you could have seen us in Melbourne if you come too far. But it wouldn't be as good as this. You're very lucky, and I'm very lucky too, because I get to travel around and do this for a living. And so do these guys on my side, at each side of me. And there was a couple of years when we didn't get to do this, and those years really sucked, and I've come back appreciating this more than ever. I didn't learn to make sourdough in COVID. I couldn't think of anything worse. I just sat there quietly seething and hoping to get back on the road. And this is with my tip top, actually. Damien, I think you got my bread brand wrong. This song's a little bit of an autobiography about the life that I get to live, and some people think it's a sacrifice. I don't think it's a sacrifice at all. This is called The Road. I chose the road as something I would follow, and I chose love as something I would leave behind. So I drove like there was no tomorrow, and I broke every single heart that I could find. I was a kid with a dream and a vision, but my eyes could only see in a straight line. And so the road was not a good decision, but there ain't no good in looking back in time. I met somebody on the lonely highway, and she asked if I was traveling by myself. Until then I'd only ever done it my way. I thought maybe now it's time for someone else. And so we tried to keep it all together, and for a while I saw the future in her eyes. But by the time she got to know me better, I become so hard to recognize. Stranger, and I'm not going over Jordan over home. I chose the road, although I know the danger, that I'll always be traveling alone. I chose the road as something I would follow, and I chose love as something I would leave behind. So I drove like there was no tomorrow, and I broke every single heart that I could find. I'm going to sing for you now a cautionary tale. I wrote this song for a friend. It was a word of warning to him. He didn't listen. He really screwed this girl over, and she's made a whole career on it. So I guess it worked out well for her. Well, I've not always had good intentions. The moral high ground is seldom mine. And this is by no means meant to be an intervention. I've just been around enough to recognize. Now I believe that we are all created equal. I'm not saying that the fault lies in design. Now I know that bad things often happen to good people. In fact, I see them happen all the time. You're a big fish in a small pond. You're getting bigger 'cause you sure know how to climb. And it's not as if you ever meant to do wrong, but you did, and man, you left a trail behind. Now when I saw her by the river crying tears for you, I tried to comfort her with all the usual lines. She told me that she made it very clear to you that she'd take you back at any given time. And that's the trouble with girls like her. They'll fall for you and hang on every word. And that's the trouble with boys like you and me. We just keep moving on like it's how it's meant to be. But breaking hearts, that's all part of the deal, you say. And to lead somebody on, it ain't no crime. You shouldn't let hurt feelings get in your way. And you should never let the truth play on your mind. 'Cause there's a party on the hill and you're invited, and an invitation is always a good sign. I'm sure that all of your new friends will be delighted. Well, you can tell them that the pleasure is all mine. And that's the trouble with girls like her. You lead them down a hill and they'll push on undeterred. And that's the trouble with men like you and me. We lead them there and leave them there so thoughtlessly. That's the trouble with girls like her. They'll fall for you and hang on every word. And that's the trouble with boys like you and me. We leave them there and lead them there so thoughtlessly. Alright. Not always had good intentions. The moral high ground is seldom mine. Thank you. We had some earlier in the evening. We were inside the house. Obviously, the hospitality here has been excellent. But Elke, have I said your name right? Gave us some wine. This is not the same wine. This is another wine that's also very nice. But Elke gave us a small taste of. She said a tasting. And each tasting that she poured a full glass, which is a terrible business plan. Sure, maybe people will go, oh yeah, I'm in a good mood, I'm going to buy a bottle, that's good, but you've lost a bottle in the process. But it was delicious. Yes, she called it a Barossa pour, and unless a Barossa bottle is like 4 litres, it was not a tasting pour, but we appreciated it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elko.
What do you want to play? Afraid of the Light?
Sure.
I'm going to play a song now. I hope that you agree with me when I say that it would be good if these shows here kept happening, right? I'm going to say a few statements, and I'm going to try and get you to agree with all of them. Hannah Aldridge was fantastic. What about Hannah Aldridge? So that was a simple statement that I was pretty confident in the answer. My next question is, how good is Kim Ritchie? Yeah. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to ask you to be honest. Who actually knows who Kim Ritchie is? Anybody here? Yeah, I think there's a couple of people. All right, Kim Ritchie is a fantastic American. I'm not sure if you noticed, but Hannah Aldridge is American, and Kim Ritchie is also an American. She's from Ohio originally. She's a great singer-songwriter. Have you heard of Jason Isbell? Have you heard of him? Yeah. So you probably know that Southeastern record, and Kim sings all over that, and she sings all over Ryan Adams' Heartbreaker record. You know that. Kim is a great singer-songwriter in her own right, and I was fortunate enough to get to write a song and record a song with her a few years ago. At the time, she was living in a little shack at the bottom of Garth Brooks' garden in Nashville. And I swear to you, if there was any justice in the world, Garth Brooks would be living in a shack at the bottom of Kim Ritchie's garden. She doesn't fly into her shows on a trapeze like he does, or like Hannah Aldridge normally does. There was just some health and safety regulations that we couldn't do that tonight. But Kim is a fantastic singer-songwriter, and she sang on this, and we're going to sing it for you now. This is off a record a few years ago of ours called "Afraid of the Light." Well, I woke up to the sound of a car door slamming. I woke up to the voices in the hall. I looked outside and wished it was raining. I don't care for the blue sky here at all, 'cause I'm a bit unsteady on my feet this morning, but I feel a little better come tonight. You know that I need you, and through the darkness I will lead you. But I've always been afraid. I have always been afraid. I have always been afraid of the light. Well, I make my bed from whatever I can carry. I make my bed anywhere the sun goes down, in the shadows, in the back streets, in the alley, always on the wrong side of this town. 'Cause I'm a bit unsteady on my feet this morning, but I'll feel a little better come tonight. There's something borrowed, something blue. Through the darkness I will need you, but I've always been afraid. I have always been afraid. I have always been afraid of the light. Hey, I want to thank Katie Bates on the bass over here, playing with us for the first time tonight. Katie Bates, everybody.
Yeah. I'll try it.
This man on my right here, this is Damien Caffarello. You saw him on the drums earlier, he just quickly learned the guitar in the set break for this. No, that's not true. He plays guitar in the wilds and he produces our records, and we also get to produce a lot of records together. And I'm very fortunate to have somebody as talented as Damien in my world. You should hear him play the bass, and thank God he doesn't play the piano, or I would never have a job. Damien and I have worked on a bunch of records, and we also get to quite often play with... Hey, dude. It's very, very hard, all right? That's completely wrong. You'll break it. We get to play with we've done some gigs together with a bunch of our heroes, and sometimes your heroes come from a long way away. We did a gig one time with a great American band called Lord Huron, who we didn't know would become heroes at the time, but they did, and we've gotten to play over in England and played with people that we never dreamed we'd be on a stage with. But one of my personal heroes has played here, and he's local. He's a man called Kevin Bennett. Were you here for the Flood gig? Kevin's always been very kind to me. Whenever he's come and stayed in Melbourne, he's come and I've put him up occasionally for a night or two, and he in return for that, one of the times he came with a whole suitcase full of vinyl records for me. And I tell you what, you can just get on Expedia and you can get a much cheaper hotel than a suitcase full of vinyl records will buy you. And you probably get clean sheets and all that kind of stuff that I didn't necessarily provide. One of the records that he really wanted me to listen to was a record by a guy called Willis Allen Ramsey, right? And you probably haven't heard of him. KB might have played this song when he came down here and played, because he loves this song. And KB said, you have to listen to the Ballad of Spider John, the title track from this album. And I listened to it, and I loved it. And I quietly learned it, but I never played it in front of Kevin Bennett. Instead, I decided the first time I was ever going to play this song was at a show in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 2019. And I was over there touring solo with another American artist. And I got up for my set, and the crowd was pretty warmed up, and I was feeling pretty good. So I thought, I'm going to play the Ballad of Spider John for the first time live. And I played it, and thankfully nobody in America knows the song either, because I completely botched it. I completely fucked it up, right? And I got off stage, and I was feeling pretty good about myself, and I was signing some CDs, and feeling like a little bit of a minor rock star for the evening. And this old man came up to me and he said, "Hey, that was a pretty good cover of Spider John that you did." And I was like a little bit embarrassed, going, "Oh shit, somebody knew it." And I said, "Oh, thanks very much." Never apologise. Always just say thank you. That's what I've learned. And he said, "Hey, if you're around tomorrow morning, let me take you down the studio where we recorded it." and I was like, "Oh, really?" Turned out this guy had been the engineer. Thank God he wasn't actually Willis Allen Ramsey.
He said, "I've got a chart for it as well."
Yeah. So he, so I got to kind of think long and hard before I played it again. But I'll tell you a little bit about Willis Allen Ramsey. He released one album in 1971. The album is called The Ballad of Spider John. The first track is called The Ballad of Spider John. The song that everybody knows, is anybody that knows him, is called The Ballad of Spider John. And he's still on the road today in 2023, 52 years later. He's still touring, and he's only ever made that record. And whenever he gets interviewed by a magazine or a radio station or just somebody after the show, they always say to him, when's the new record coming out? When are you making another record? And he always says, well, what was wrong with the first one? And you know what? As somebody that's put out 5 records, I'm very jealous of Willis Allen Ramsey. I'm going to play the Ballad of Spider John for you now. Hopefully better than I played it in Tulsa.
Would have been amazing if you said this 2 from
Spider John's my name, friends. I'm in between freights and I sure would be obliged if I could share your company. I'm on my way to nowhere. I'm running from my past. I'm running from the man I used to be. Well, I know that my words will sound strange to you, but by the time that my song is sung and my story's told, maybe you come to understand why I'm old and I'm bent and I'm devil spent and I'm running out of time. When not long ago I held a royal flush in my hand, and I was a supermarket fool. I was a motorbike stool pigeon, robbing my hometown. I thought I'd paid my dues, yeah, I thought I'd lost my blues. I thought I'd found a life to suit my style. Yes, I was Spider John, the robber man, long, tall, and handsome. Yes, I was Spider John with a loaded hand, paying ransom. Well, then one day I met Diamond Lil, and she was the sweetest thing. I declare that the summer wind ever blew my way. Well, Lil, she had no idea of my illustrious occupation. She thought I was a saint, not a sinner gone astray. Well, old Spider, he loved his Lily so much, he could not confess his sins, for he knew if he did, the lady would surely take her leave. But the word got around and Lily left town, and I never saw her again, tossing and turning and causing my heart to grieve. And I was a supermarket fool, I was a motorbike stool pigeon, robbing my hometown. I thought I'd paid my dues, yeah, I thought I lost my blues. I thought I'd found a life to suit my style. Yes, I was Spider John, the robber man, long, tall, and handsome. Yes, I was Spider John with a loaded hand, taking ransom. Well, friends, that's all my story. It's been these 30 years since I took to the road to find my precious jewel one. And if you see my Lily, won't you give her my regards, and won't you tell her old Spider got tangled in the black web that he spun. Tell her old Spider got tangled in the black web that he spun. Won't you tell the old spider got tangled in the black web that he spun? Hey, that's Willis Allen Ramsey. He was 23 years old when he wrote that song. The motherfucker. This is a story of my own, and it's not on a Wilds record. It'll be on the next one, coming out later this year, if we make it in time. We've started thinking about it, though. That's got to be a good thing.
Done a lot of talking.
There's a girl I used to know, you know, we were quite a pair. There were roses on my cowboy shirt and roses in her hair. She was always destined for much greater things than I, but her will to live was questioned, and at 23 she died. Well, I sang at her funeral, it was a sad and bitter song, about how we had something beautiful, but it didn't last for long. Now I sit out in the cemetery with my battered old guitar, saying I'd rather sing in churches, 'cause I'm tired of being in bars. I'd rather be the minister, I'd rather lead the choir. A stall down in the parish fair is all that I desire, and no more waking up in God knows where, sleeping in my car. Yeah, I'd rather sing in churches, 'cause I'm tired of being in bars. Well, the inscription on her tombstone, well, I don't recall the words. There's a man that writes them for his job, and he swears it's God he serves. But if that job were mine, I don't think I could be so sure, because when they're taken in their prime, I wonder who I was working for. I'd rather lead the choir. A stall down in the parish fair is all that I desire, and no more waking up in God knows where, sleeping in my car. Yeah, I'd rather sing in churches, 'cause I'm tired of being in bars. I'd rather sing in churches, 'cause I'm tired of being in bars. Now when I was a little boy, my family raised me good, and I was kind to other children, and I said the things that I should. But you make a lot of compromises when you're reaching for the stars. Now I'd rather sing in churches, 'cause I'm tired of being in bars. I'd rather be the minister, yeah, I'd rather lead the choir. A stall down in the parish fair is all that I desire. No more waking up in God knows where, sleeping in my car. Yeah, I'd rather sing in churches, 'cause I'm tired of being in bars. Oh, I'd rather sing in churches, 'cause I'm tired of being in bars. Yeah, I'd rather sing in churches, 'cause I'm tired of being in bars. Oh, I'd rather sing in churches, 'cause I'm tired of being in bars. Thanks very, very much. Look, this is so nice. I'm going to say it again. It's really nice to be out on the road. I was with the rest of the band away in the UK, England and Scotland for 2 weeks, and then
barely touched down and had Blues Fest over in Melbourne with Henry Wagons, and then been on the road with Hannah for a couple of weeks now, and this is the last show of this tour for all of us together. Hannah's playing tomorrow down in Goolwa, but it's been such a pleasure, and it's so great to be on the road. And the idea of going home for me always is terrifying. Going home and thinking about all the boring stuff, paying bills and doing washing and ironing and trying to remember how to feed myself when I've been on the road for several weeks. I've been fed by many food trucks like tonight, and many pub meals, and the occasional fast food delight. I'm a big advocate. I'm sure some of you guys go to England quite a lot. When you go to the service station in England, you laugh at that. Like, no one from South Australia has ever been to England. Everyone in South Australia talks like they come from England, so you must have.
That wasn't that English.
When you go there and you go to the service station, there's Marks and Spencer's. Has anyone been there and seen that? Yeah. Yeah. You can eat healthy on the road in England, and in Australia, we proudly demand that you cannot. There is a I have eaten some weird stuff and some terrible stuff in my life, but I can guarantee that Australian and American service stations are competing for the worst option. I'm sorry if any of you here own a service station, but there is a tremendous market for someone to just make a salad and sell it at a service station. And particularly now that all the towns are bypassed. I used to go through Holbrook on the way to Sydney, and stop at the bakery there, and you get a salad sandwich. Now you just can stop at that one near Gundagai, and you have a choice between KFC, some kind of pizza scenario, and Oliver's, right, which you would think is the healthy choice, but no one that is conscious about their eating has $17 to spend on a sandwich. So I love being here. I love being in South Australia, where it's this gourmet culture that you have, but I just want to see it in the service stations, all right? If we can... Ooh, yucks.
Is this the owner of the service station that just heckled? Uh-huh. We might need fuel on the way out, so we want to keep him on side.
We don't need fuel, Damien. We're flying. The girls need fuel.
We need to get to the airport.
Oh, yeah. What? Hang on. There's no fuel in the car? That's another half hour earlier tomorrow. We're going to have to leave for our 8:10 a.m. flight from Adelaide. I'm sorry about that. We're going to play. We're going to play an old song, and because Katie Bates is here, and this got requested at a show the other day. And would you be up for doing Basics of Love? Yes. One of the nicest things in the world when you write songs is when you find out that other people in their own bands sing your songs. And this happens sometimes, but weirdly, they always seem to sing the songs that I don't really know very well. And we went up to Old Bar in New South Wales last Sunday, and we got this request for this song, which we're going to play now. And it turns out afterwards that the couple that requested it have a little duo, and they sing this duet together in the duo. And thank God they did, because they were mouthing the words the whole time. And I was staring at them the whole time going, I hope you're just a little bit ahead of the beat so that I can sing my bit. But I've practiced since then.
I haven't.
It's a little duet, a little country waltz. We recorded this with a great country singer called Shanley Dell from New Zealand. And tonight the role of Shanley Dell is going to be played by the wonderful, great singer-songwriter in her own right, who you didn't get to see do that tonight. But if you want to drive to Goolwa tomorrow, you can see her. This is Katie Bates. Damien's going to attempt to play the drums and the guitar at once.
She's dreaming a romance, spinning a ring on her hand. There on a bar stool, reason she don't understand. She got what she wanted, but it's not what she needs.
On the radio, Waylon is preaching the basics of love, like pillars of wisdom descending on her from above, like gentle reminders of everything that she has lost. Basics of love. He's dreaming of home and a son that is almost a man. Well, these alternate weekends were never a part of his plan. So he lights up a cigarette because it puts him at ease. And on the radio, Willie sings she was always on his mind. But it's that kind of thinking that led him to drinking all night. And here in the real world, forgiveness is harder to find, like the basics of love. The basics of love.
Now it's late in the evening, people leaving the bar. He holds the door open, walks with her out to his car,
Where they sit for an hour without saying a word. And on the radio, Waylon is preaching the basics of love, like pillars of wisdom descending on them from above, like gentle reminders of all of the things that they lost. The basics of love. The basics of love. She's dreaming of romance and spinning that ring on her hand.
Unless you want to play along with who I was playing around in D. In E, sorry. In E. Just sing it. Just play it.
I realised
Yeah, we'll do it.
I realised when I referred to Willie Nelson in that song that it's his 90th birthday today. Happy birthday, Willie.
Is that him? Is that him up the back?
He just came here to escape all the attention. I've
Is this thing on?
I've played golf at Willie Nelson's house in Texas, and he wasn't there. Well, we didn't see him. We didn't see him, but we spent every time. He has his own golf course, right? And we were hacking our way around, and every time we saw a little old man get out of a golf buggy, we had like our foot. We didn't have binoculars, but we were like zooming in on our phones, snapping just in case it was Willie. It never was. He kept his golf course in terrible condition, I might add.
Is that why you scored so low?
This is for Willie. In the twilight glow, I see her, blue eyes crying in the rain. When we kissed goodbye and parted, I knew we'd never meet again. Love is like a dying ember, only memories remain, and through the ages I remember blue eyes crying in the rain. Someday when we meet up yonder, we'll stroll hand in hand again in a land that knows no parting. Blue eyes crying in the rain, in a land that knows no parting. Blue eyes crying in the rain. Thanks very much. I want, before you go tonight, if you haven't already, I want you to go home with a Hannah Aldridge record or CD or T-shirt. And failing that, if the queue's too big for a Hannah Aldridge CD or record or T-shirt, then please feel free to get a T-shirt or a CD of ours. We're out of records. But we've had such a good time playing for you. We're not quite finished, but I just thought I'd mention that so it doesn't get awkward later. This is called You Remind Me of Myself, and it's the title, the first track on our As Long As It's Not Us record. We hope you like it. Thought by your age I'd have settled down, and I imagine you played all your cards by now, but you never cease to amaze. Maybe these will be your
pots and empty teacups in her room. I didn't think that she'd have even heard of you. Well, now it's a stretch, to be sure, but I hear her knocking at your door. You remind me of myself, but so much better. You're like me, but so much better. I don't see how you could ever live this down. Well, I try not to repeat myself, but yet again I have seen the darkness in the hearts of men, but I see the light in yours and it makes me need you more. You remind me of myself, but so much better. You're like me, but so much better. I don't see how you could ever live this down. Are you bathing in the blood, or are you less human than the rest of us? Did someone tell you something we don't know? And the words that leave your tongue, are they specifically for anyone? And do you see in me the potential to grow? Settled down, packed away my riding boots and said my vow. But you took your foot off the brakes. I adore all of your mistakes. You remind me of myself, but so much better. You're like me, but so much better. I don't see how you could ever. Please don't ever, please don't ever. I don't see why you should ever. Please don't ever, please don't ever let me down. Thanks very much. I'm sure that you will agree that the night wouldn't be complete if we didn't get the amazing Hannah Aldridge back up on stage. So it's going to be a bit of a free-for-all from now on. This is Hannah Aldridge coming back, everybody. Please make her welcome.
You want me to take this other mic, or what do you want to do? What are we doing?
Take that one. I'll go to the side. Yeah.
Are we doing Unbelievable?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, before we do that, why don't we do Dr. Michael? This has been amazing. Thank you all again for coming out to the show, and thank you for bringing me back up on stage. This is such a surprise. During the break, I got asked quite a lot about my religious upbringing. That was the topic everyone wanted.
You did mention it once or twice.
I did.
Yeah.
I got asked a lot of questions about it, and that seemed to be something everybody wanted to chat about. And I told a couple of you that I would talk a little bit more about it. So while we're getting organized up here, I at some point in my life, I should have said this earlier because this was a question that several people asked me: is if I still attend the Church of Christ? And no, absolutely not. I know. At about age 19, I decided to leave the Church of Christ, and that was mostly due to the fact that I ended up having my son at that age, and decided I didn't want to raise him in the church anymore. And from that moment on, after quite a journey, I decided that I wanted to pursue being an unbeliever, because I had always been taught to be a believer in my life. That was such a big word, that you have to be a believer. And I thought, but what if you don't want to believe in what you're being told to believe in? So I think all of us have those things in our lives that we have to untangle the threads of something that's been ingrained and taught to us that is not true for us anymore, maybe not the right thing for our lives. And some of us have a whole lot more to unpack than others. For me, it's quite a lot. And I was lucky enough to have Damien and Lachlan sit with me one day in a studio, and we talked about it and had kind of a whole discussion about what it meant to become an unbeliever and how long that road is and how long that path is. And it's a really special song for me, this next one that we're going to do, because it's one that is exactly about that journey of me leaving the church and kind of breaking off and trying to find myself and really coming into learning about what faith and love and God means really on a much bigger level for me. So this one is called Unbeliever, and it's on my new record. It's not that I don't wanna see the light. It's not like I ain't looking for the truth. I thought I saw it flicker once or twice, but then it vanished in the ether. So I'm an unbeliever. People say you've gotta give it time, so I gave it all the time I ever hold. I thought I had it coming down the line, but I was never the receiver. Just another unbeliever. Oh, as my last cigarette burns out, 1,000 different faces pass me by. I see my own reflection in every stranger's eyes. Once again I'm reaching for the door, and once again the spark has turned ash. I guess I'll dig out all them lines I've used before. Man, I'm such a self-deceiver. And I'm an unbeliever. Thank you all.
Drug Demona Portrait Birmingham. What's that? Drug Demona Portrait Birmingham.
Hannah Aldridge, can we get you to stay up here, Hannah? I wrote this song on a long trip around America just a year or two before I met Hannah. I was traveling with my band which has changed a bit since now. Normally, our bass player, he has a very pregnant partner right now, and he's not here tonight. He's been with us for some of this tour. Sean and I are the longest serving members of the band, and we were on the road in America together a few years ago, and we went out. We played this particular tour where we played every dive bar, it seemed, in the whole eastern seaboard of America. And in New York, we played 5 nights in a row. And while some people do 5 nights in a row in Carnegie Hall, we played 5 nights in increasingly dodgy dive bars. And pretty much the criteria for any show that we booked on that tour was we exclusively played places where there was no toilet seat on the toilet.
You played toilets, man. Those are some divey
you know what,
shows.
cutting to the chase. But you know those places where you go into the bar, you know if you walk into the bathroom and there are no toilet seats on the toilet, you know you're in a little bit of trouble. Also, there was never a lock on the cubicle, you know? There was just a hole where the lock once was, which always makes me wonder, what the hell happened here? Why did someone need to prise the lock off? And can you imagine being pursued by somebody because you're in some mafia thing or whatever, and you're cowering in the cubicle and you see the screws start to fall out of that lock? You know you're in trouble. But anyway, we had a pretty good time on this tour, and on this one particular night.
It sounds like you had a blast.
We had a
on
blast.
that tour.
Your country rolls out the hospitality like nobody else.
Yes.
We were at this bar called Arlene's Grocery in New York, and we got there about after the show. We played somewhere else. We got there about 3 a.m. It was happy hour, believe it or not, at 3 a.m. And we got talking to these 2 women, one of whom claimed to be a voodoo priestess from the island of Haiti. And she inspired this song, which has taken on new life recently because Sean, the bass player I was talking about, he recently took his pregnant girlfriend to New York, and just for fun, he decided to take her to all of the dodgy places that we went to. And on the first night, he thought, I'll start with Arlene's Grocery.
Because that's exactly what you want to do when you're pregnant.
I
is
think
go
so.
to the dodgiest places in New York.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, New York's
would
pretty
wanna
safe
do,
these
for
days. So he took her down there, and he texted me and he said, hey, I'm taking Elise to Arlene's Grocery tonight. And I said, that's fantastic. You can relive old times. And he said, yeah, I'm really excited. And I messaged him 12 hours or so later, and I said, how'd it go? How did Elise enjoy Arlene's Grocery? And he said, oh, unfortunately, she forgot to take her ID, so she couldn't get in. And you know, in America, if you look about under 40, you got to show ID. And I said, oh, that's such a shame that you didn't get to go back. And then he replied, he said, no, I got to go back. And I was thinking, oh, that's a shame. You had to walk her back to the hotel and then trudge all the way back. I knew where he was staying. He said, oh, no. She just waited outside with the security guard in the snow while she was pregnant, while Sean relived the glory days of being in a band playing dive bars 5 or 6 years ago. She's an incredibly patient woman. And they currently live with me, and I'm really looking forward to being the responsible adult that helps her bring up the child. The song is inspired by that first trip to Arlene's Grocery, and it's called Doug DeMoe. It's going to be sung with me by our own voodoo priestesses right here, Katie Bates and Hannah Aldridge. I said to myself, what's the worst that could happen? I was a stranger in a strange world. No surprise that I should meet a girl with caramel skin. The way she moved as she was laughing, and how the time was passing. The late night bar down on the Lower East Side. She said maybe we should go down to New Orleans. I got some friends down there, and they could show you some things. Ain't got nothing to do, nowhere to be today. And I've already got a curse on you, already put a curse on you. Anyway, now when I finally got to sleep that night,
I had a dream I was walking down Bourbon Street, and it was Halloween. I had a feeling like the voodoo was inside of me, and a Creole band played a strange little chapter that I couldn't place, but I'd heard before. And when I woke up, I was in her car singing, maybe we should go down to New Orleans. I got some friends down there, they could show you some things. Ain't got nothing to do, but nowhere to be today. And I've already put a curse on you, already put a curse on you. Anyway, well, the sun came up east of the Doug Demona. She wasn't there, I was behind the wheel, and a single black crow flew south, singing, maybe we should go down to New Orleans. I know a girl down there, and she could show you some things. Ain't got nothing to do, but nowhere to be today. I've already put a curse on you, already put a curse on you. Maybe we should go down to New Orleans. I got some friends down there, they can show you some things. Ain't got nothing to do, but nowhere to be today. And I've already put a curse on you, already put a curse on you. Anyway,
Jump straight to Birmingham. Let's go straight.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, everybody. This is going to be our last song. I have a couple things to say, first of all, though, while we're getting organized up here. First of all, this is our last show together as a band unit, and what a wonderful way to end such a wonderful tour. And Katie and I have been trying to get a band photo for like the entire tour, and Lachlan is terrible at logistics, so every single day we wake up at 5 a.m. and we don't have time to do anything. So is it okay if we all take a band photo with you guys? Is that all right? I figured it's a wonderful night. It's a wonderful night back in this beautiful space, and I'd love to have something to remember this night. So I think it'd be great, Mike, if you don't mind. I don't know if you're already up here. All right, let's get a photo. Y'all stand up, act like you're having a good time behind us, and let's celebrate a sold-out last band show on this tour together after a really, really wonderful evening. All right, y'all ready?
You tell me.
Can everybody just move a tiny bit that way?
That's great. Let's do
one
one
more.
more. Now
Let's do
everybody
one
look like you're really having a good time.
Arms in the air.
Oh, hang on. We're gonna get everybody. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. We're going to finish with one last song. We're going to finish with a Hannah Aldridge song. Please, we'd love to meet you after the show, so come up and chat to us at the merch desk. You don't have to buy anything. If you're on Instagram or you like mailing lists, go and find us on our website, or Instagram is really good to keep in touch because we're pretty lazy. But thank you so much for coming out, and we really, really, again, want to say thanks to John on the sound. Woo! And to Mike and to Di for having us in this beautiful, amazing place. This is so good, and we feel so fortunate to be here. And thank you all for coming out. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Like Lachlan said, this is so wonderful to all you guys, but I also want to say thank you to Lachlan for putting together such a great tour and a really wonderful experience. And thank you to Katie for taking her time to do this. And Damien, you know what? If you could learn bass, that could be great for next time.
No offense, Katie.
Wait, you're already better at bass than any of us in the whole world, too. Never mind.
Okay, rude.
You know,
I'll just go fuck myself.
No.
Yeah, Damien, you could learn bass as well. I'll just go away.
I say that because he's better at guitar and he's better at keys too than all of us. He's just a freak.
Hey, Jesus Christ. Is there anyone else you'd like to offend here?
What I'm trying to say is that y'all are
I bet he
fire.
makes better wine as well.
Yeah, Lachlan and I are out of the band now. Why are you on that? You're so far away.
What started as a really touching thank you from Hannah just went to shit. That's right. Don't give her any sound on that mic.
Yeah. I'll sing this one.
It never starts as a touching anything, Lachlan. I was gonna say thank you, and then I thought this feels a little gushy, you know, like. So I know all of y'all we're dying to know this story, but I was playing a show in a small town in Birmingham, Alabama, and it's one of those shows where you get there at 3:00 for sound check, and every person that's going to be attending the show is already there drinking. And so you know by the end of the show that no one's going to remember that they bought tickets to a show. And so I was playing this show, and about halfway through I thought, I could probably just take my guitar and put it into the car and drive away into the distance and not speak to anyone, and they're never going to know the difference, And so after the show, I pretty quickly got out the back door, put my guitar in the car, and I thought I had gotten away with it. And I felt a tap on the shoulder. I heard the door open and a tap on my shoulder, and I thought, oh. And I turned around, and there was a guy standing there. And I could see by the look in his eye that he had something wonderful and charming to say, as you do when you've been drinking for about 8 hours and you approach a girl. And before he could do that, he just threw up all over me. And I thought, well, if you can't write a song about that, what are you even doing, So I did. I wrote a song about it, and I've been going around the world embarrassing this guy for quite a while now. And if you too have thrown up on someone when you were drunk, or perhaps perhaps you're planning on throwing up on someone. I don't know what y'all are into in South Australia. I have no idea, but feel free to join. All you have to do, it's really simple. It's just simple words and melodies, but it'll make you feel better about that embarrassing moment you had. All you have to do is go, burning down Birmingham. Burning down Birmingham. Let's practice it, okay? Burning down Birmingham. That's pretty good. Burning. I want to mention that I can see every single person in this room, so I'm going to know which of you didn't participate. And you're participating, I see you. If that part doesn't move you, you could also do this. You could go, there's an old flame burning down. I'll let you know when it's time. Don't worry, you have not missed the cue if you think you've missed it, okay? Are y'all ready? You ready for it? All right, here we go. Ooh.
the congregation sings. There's an old flame burning down Wombat Flat tonight. Thank y'all so much again for coming out tonight. Katie Bates, everybody, Lachlan, Bryan, Damien, and I'm Hannah Aldridge. We'll see you real soon. Thank y'all.
If you had a choice of going home right now or hearing another song, what would you do?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. All right, yeah.
Can we trade verses?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it.
So just put the capo. If he jumps on the drums, put the capo on number 7 and play the way you normally play it.
Seven.
Fine.
Seven even. All right. We're gonna do something real unrehearsed.
9. Put it on 9.
9 even. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
We're going to sing a song of ours that Hannah played for you earlier today, so this is a reprise.
It's the only time I've ever done a tour that we get to play the same song twice in a row at
It's
night.
a great honour that Hannah that recorded our song, and I really want you to check out Hannah's version.
It's my favorite song and I wanted it twice.
Well, that's very kind. Thanks again. This has been so wonderful. So we appreciate it.
Before, can I just make sure I'm in the same key as you? Because this feels weird. We're doing weird things right now. I've never done this before.
This would be great.
Will it?
We're good.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4. Is that a black widow spider or a skinny young blonde that is waiting for down by the nail salon? And is it blood on his shoulder, a little on his cheek? He told her he'd be home inside a week.
He said he just needs a little time to clear out his head. Few good nights sleeping on a cheap motel bed in a little town somewhere north of Sydney by the beach, where everyone's a little out of reach.
Yeah, it's just a portrait of the artist as a middle-aged man, staring blankly at the canvas with his trembling hand, while back at home they're hanging tinsel and fighting back the tears. But no one's singing Christmas songs around here.
'Cause here it's just some rag mags and Mentos and a crumpled shopping bag. He's got those Avis micro-Nissan car keys in his other hand. And he looks down at the ocean at the end of the road, and he thinks, hell, I'd rather drown than charge up my phone.
But now it's raining on the Hawkesbury and slippery on the road. She's dialing up another song he doesn't know. Well, some girls quite like country music, but that's not so common now. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's just a portrait of the driver as a middle-aged man, riding shotgun is a woman he could never understand. Well, she's got her feet up on the dashboard while he's fumbling with the gears. Now neither one has been so dissatisfied in years. But have you ever seen the city from a rental car at night? Through a foggy rearview mirror, it's a melancholy sight.
When you bit the hand that fed you and hurt the ones you love the most, it's best you just keep driving up the coast.
she's paying with his credit card while he gathers up his thoughts. She's got peroxide and a ponytail and cut off denim shorts.
A bare midriff and a bracelet that was just this morning bought. You see, it all ends up as evidence in court.
Yeah, it's just a portrait of the husband as a middle-aged man, standing there all stripped to bare and covered in fake tan. Well, she's dancing in the shadows while he's clinging to his beer. Who knows, he could be dead inside here.
Yeah, it's just a portrait of an artist as a middle-aged man, staring blankly at a canvas with his trembling hands. And he'd appreciate an audience just to watch him disappear. Any love can't be dead inside here.
While back at home they're hanging tinsel and fighting back the tears. No one's singing Christmas songs round here. Thanks very much, everybody. We really appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot. Good night.